What's happening, YouTube? Ryan here for Tricrow Studios, and today I'm sitting here in my home studio pretty much doing a request that I had, a couple of them actually. I usually get a lot of requests as in like, wow, you have a lot of gear, can you show me what you have and how you hook it up? So I'm going to do like a basic version of that video. There's a couple of videos that I've made, some that are released right now, some that aren't. Kind of how to connect certain things, and I'm going to be doing more in the future because I find that a lot of people find those really helpful. But I'm just going to show you what I have in my home studio. I'm not going to go over like guitar amp heads, guitars, or microphones. I have like close to 30 or if not 30 microphones right now, so I keep them in a separate area in like a dresser. So there's not like a lot of dust and stuff like that that get into the microphones themselves. But yeah, I'm going to go over like what I have just I guess on my desk and in my rack space and everything. You'll see that there's a lot of videos on certain things here. I can tell you right now I need to do a video on the Solo 610 and the Focusrite ISA1 because I have not done those yet, but I will be getting to them. So anyway, I'm going to take the camera, so you can stop looking at my ugly face, and we'll take a look at what's behind me pretty much. Alright, so we'll start out with kind of a pan out or whatever, just a view of my home studio setup. It is in my living room, so you can actually see where the lights are and everything. We'll see my daughter's playpen and all that stuff, change station and blah 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 blah. Off to the sides, all of my, not all of my heads, actually I have a couple of other ones, including a PV3120, which I don't think you guys know about yet. But there's my head set up, and then I have another head down there. Yeah, and all this other stuff. So yeah, I'm in a condo. This is my living room in my condo, so I don't have a basement yet or anything. So that's what you're actually seeing when you see me make videos and stuff like that. Anyway, we'll get on to the monitors. A lot of people ask why I have two sets of monitors. I actually have two sets of monitors, so I can, like I use the Neumanns here way more than I use the Alpha 65. I rarely actually use the Alpha 65s. These are really nice speakers, or studio monitors. They cost a pretty penny as well. So these are my main monitors. So I actually listen to music on them as well when I record, or as well as when I record. So these are always on, but these are set incredibly flat so I can hear everything during playback. Then if I want to hear something with like a bass boost, I have these actually set with increased bass on the back, so more focus on bass on the back of it. So that's why I have two sets of monitors, because a lot of like stereo setups, I guess you'd call them, or where people listen to music nowadays, they're like, they have like enhanced bass. So that's why I have two sets of monitors, so I can kind of hear how it'll sound on two different setups. And these are also a lesser value. They cost about half the price of, a little under half the price of those monitors. So it's a quality issue as well, but not too much. But it's nice having those. But so that's a 5-inch speaker. This is a 6-inch speaker, or 6.5-inch speaker. Again, I'm in a condo, so I don't need 8-inch at this moment. I'm sure I'll get them in the future, but who knows. I also listen to all of my stuff on my Focal Spirit Professional headphones there, and I'll swap them out as well for the AKG. I think they're K99s, not quite sure, but they're a different headphone setup. I think there's like increased bass on that, where these are just incredibly flat. So same kind of setup there. So just when you're listening to your mixes and stuff like that, you want to hear everything. The biggest thing is not to hide your flaws, it's to actually find your flaws so you can fix them kind of deal. You know what I mean? So you want to hear where things go wrong so you can fix them. Whatever. Anyway, next we'll look at my computer setup, which is an iMac 27-inch. I don't know if it's a 2013 or 2014 model. It's the last one that they made before the Retinas, and they haven't updated these since they've introduced the Retinas. So yeah, I have that, and then an Acer 27-inch monitor, so I have a dual monitor setup. I really highly recommend, if you have the space for it. I don't right now. My table is not long enough, or my desk is not long enough, so I would have 3 monitors set up. I find it's easier to work. I have a better workflow this way. So yeah, that's my computer setup. I also have a 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro, where I do a lot of my video editing, actually, because I'm running the older version of Final Cut Pro. Whereas here, I'm trying my best to run Final Cut Pro X, or 10, or whatever you want to call it. I just don't think it's there yet. Either way, then we should look at, I guess, the audio interface, which a lot of you know I run. Universal Audio Apollo. This is one of the first Apollos there. It's a Duo, because when I bought it I was like, I'll never use the plugins. Plugins are kind of a little bit stupid, and maybe they're not accurate. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh wow, yeah, I run a lot of plugins. So then I got a UAD2, where am I? UAD2 Satellite, and this is a Duo as well because it didn't have a quad. And then we have the Apollo Twin Duo, so I have what's that, like 3 Shark processors or whatever they are. So it allows me to run a lot more plugins. So that's where you're seeing like Console 2.0 and everything. So it's good because if you want to add something like, what do I have here? This. So you can run things like tape and stuff like that. So you can get kind of a tape sound. Anyway, yeah, won't even close. Yay! I'm also running the new Magic Trackpad, and this is not working really well for me. Yeah. So after that, we have my microphone preamps. So I have the ISA1, the Solo 610. Oh, I should also show you, I have the PreSonus fader port as well. I don't use it a lot, but it is pretty cool because it is motorized fader and everything. It will be useful in the future for me, but for right now I just haven't really integrated it yet into my setup. So anyway, I have the Solo 610 there as well. Then you come down to there are videos definitely already uploaded to YouTube, just not released yet, of all of these Lunchbox pre's. So we have the Lindell Audio 6X500, which is alright. I need to give it a better chance. It feels cheap, and sometimes it sounds cheap as well. So then we have the Radial Power Pre, the Warm Audio WA12, which is kind of a clone of the API 512C. Then I have a Vintech Audio VA573, and I'm realizing there's not a lot of light, so you can't really see it. Then the Golden Age Project Pre-573. That's an API Lunchbox. If you're getting into anything studio related, and you might want to get preamps, get one of these. I can't stress enough. They have an 8 version of it, or like a 8-spot version of it, rather than the 6 that I have. So I can hold 8 of them. And I think I really wish that they would have had this out when I bought my Lunchbox, because I would love to have another 2 spots. But yeah, I mean, these are 6 mic preamps, and you can just take them with you, just like a Lunchbox. So, if you need to go anywhere and do any recordings, it is such a good tool to have. Next, we have the Golden Age Project Pre-73, so it's the Mach 2 version of it. Then we have 2 710s here, the Universal Audio Twinfinity 710s. I have a cheap power supply here that you can switch things on and off. And that's handy for only turning on just a few things at a time rather than everything at a, because I keep certain things on at all times. So that is my setup. So a lot of people ask me how I run it. I run it with a lot of cables like these into, it's just kind of dark so you can't really see, this ART P16 and XLR patch bay. I highly recommend. It's a lot of work, and sometimes you gotta write down little diagrams and stuff like that, but it's really worth it for like space management and everything like that, and time management as well. On to the next side here, which I don't know when I'm ever gonna get all this set up. This is my guitar rig kind of deal. So I have the Korg pitch black tuner, which you can barely see. Underneath it is the ART SP 4x4. It's a power conditioner, so you can see the lights on, the numbers and stuff. Underneath that, I have the TC Electronic M350, which I only bought for like a basic reverb for a setup, because I figured out, you know what, I'll have it for like a dual rectifier because it doesn't have reverb, and I still haven't really integrated anything. Then I have the Voodoo Lab GSX, so the guitar audio switcher, which goes with the Ground Control Pro, which I have a lot of stuff on the floor here for all of my amp heads and stuff like that. It's really, can't even see anything. So that works with the Ground Control Pro, so you can switch whatever on and off that you want. And I have the DBX 1074 quad gate. Yeah, I have that because that's the James Hetfield noise gate kind of deal. And then underneath, same thing, G Major 2 TC Electronic. Got that. It's the Metallica thing, right? That's what they use, so I got it. I did that. I don't use it that much though. And the BBE Sonic Maximizer, the 462. I love this thing because I don't have, like, way down there, which is dark, you can't see. I have a Mesa Triaxis, but I don't have a power amp for it. And at this point, with having a baby and stuff like that, I don't see myself getting one in a while, or for a little while, so I can run that, like, kind of DI it, and it sounds good with the BBE there. Underneath is a rack-mounted tube driver, which is pretty good, and then I have two like delays and reverb units, which I seriously only got because they were cheap, and I figured, cheap stuff, that's sometimes good, and I can't use them that well. They're not good quality. Anyway, that's really it for this long-ass studio tour. It's like 15 minutes. This is stupid. It's kind of what I wanted to try and avoid, but it would be like a 6-part video if I wanted to show everything that I have. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. If you have any questions about my setup, I don't care if you have suggestions. That's cool with me. If you want to suggest, like, hey, don't put that there, put it here, or don't use that patch bay, use this one. Just go ahead and comment. You can direct message us as well. So this is Ryan. So if you want to direct message me, you can do it on the YouTube thing and just address it to Ryan, or you can just comment on this video. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Have a wicked day. Bye. Take it easy.